Hello travelers from around the world. In the previous video we showed you the tomato battle, La Tomatina. But we have not yet had time to share with you the highlights of our trip from Barcelona to Buñol. In this episode, we'll drive along the majestic Costa Blanca and see beautiful towns like Denia, Altea, Xábia and Alcoi. We will also visit two cities founded by the Romans, Tarragona on the Costa Dorada and Valencia. So let's get started. This aqueduct was built by the Romans 2,000 years ago in the 1st century AD. And interestingly enough, when the Arabs conquered Spain, they continued to use it. I find it hard to believe that such a colossal structure of 26 meters high could have been built thousands of years ago without the help of cranes or modern technology. It was built under Emperor Augustus, and as you can see, it has 11 arches in the lowest part and 25 in the upper part. It's incredible that after 2,000 years, this bridge is still so well preserved. Legend has it that a shepherd asked the devil for a bridge that would last 1,000 years, but this one is already 2,000 years old. And look at it, it's as good as new. According to another legend, many years ago, when a Roman architect was building a bridge, a strong gust of wind blew it away. Desperate, he said that only the devil could build a bridge here that would last 1,000 years. Suddenly, Satan appeared and promised to build the bridge in a single night. In return, he asked for the soul of the first one to walk across the bridge and drink the water. The first one who did it was a donkey, and it was his soul that the devil took. You probably can't see very well, but I'm walking right along the top of the aqueduct. Another fact that surprised me was the number of devil's bridges that are located in Spain and that any tourist can visit. Welcome to Tarragona, the capital of the Costa Dorada. Not many people know that in 2000, Tarragona was declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. We are near the ancient city wall, built during the Roman Empire. Today, Tarragona is not a major city anymore, but in Roman times it was one of the most important cities on the Iberian Peninsula, and this wall served to protect it from enemies. If you ever visit Tarragona, you will notice that the whole city is sloped, and the highest point in the city is 68 meters higher than the lowest. This slope in ancient times served as an ideal form of protection against barbarians. If you walk along the main street, the first thing you will see is the cathedral. This cathedral was built in a Gothic style, and like most Gothic cathedrals, it has the apostles there, and in the center there is the Virgin Mary with baby Jesus. Follow me, because we're about to go see a Roman circus. Well, or at least what's left of it. Let's go and take a look. The Roman circus was a large open-air venue used for public events in the ancient Roman Empire. The most popular spectacle of the time was, of course, the chariot races, usually with 2 or 4 horses. The peculiarity of this particular circus is that it's located within the city walls. It's very unusual given the size of the circus, which makes it very special. This circus is considered one of the best preserved Roman circuses, even though much of its structure is still hidden underneath the old 19th century buildings. And here you can see what remains of the Roman circus. And from there, the riders and the performers came out. And over there is the beach. I don't know if you're aware that in Catalonia, and other places where they speak Catalan, there is a tradition of building castellers, which are human towers, at the top of which there is always a child who's called an enxaneta. Once the child manages to get to the top of the tower, his team wins. And what many people don't know is that actually, the hardest part is not assembling the tower, but taking it back down. Because often people fall precisely on the way down. Just imagine that a human tower like this can reach 12 meters in height and weigh as much as 3 African elephants. And here on this building behind me, we can see ninots. We have already seen these dolls before in stores. They are very popular in some cities. In Barcelona, they make giant ninots. In other cities like Valencia, they burn them. And here, they are painted on the building. We continue our journey and head to Denia. This city is in the province of Alicante, but it's almost on the border with Valencia. It is one of the most popular cities among tourists on the Costa Blanca, known for its beaches and gastronomy. Did you know that in Denia, there was a toy museum? Yes, there is! This is because in the 20th century, Denia was a major center for toy production, and it was its main industry. In the museum, you can see many unique toys, from cars to boats and airplanes to furniture. Well, one more day, and today we're heading to a few viewpoints between Denia and Xábia. This is one of the most beautiful viewpoints, and I'm very surprised that there are no tourists here at all. Could it be that they don't know about it? Look, that town you see down there is Xábia, and over there is a lighthouse. I was told that a family used to live there, and they helped stop ships from getting lost. But now it's no longer in service, and it serves only as a landmark. We're gonna film here with a drone, because I think the views are going to be fantastic. Along the way, we came across a Russian Orthodox church. As you know, I live in Russia, and I was very surprised to see something like that in the middle of Spain. I was told that this was the first Russian Orthodox church built in Spain. Let's go inside and take a look. This is the headquarters of the Russian Orthodox Church in Spain and Portugal. Here is a typical Orthodox cross. As you can see, it's the same as the Catholic one, but there's one extra bar down here. The construction of this church began in the 1990s, when, after the collapse of the Soviet Union and the lifting of the Iron Curtain, many Russians started coming to Spain in search of a better life.
Здравствуйте, в эфире Вести. СССР больше нет.
And it was these immigrants who built this church. What's interesting is that it was built entirely by Russian builders, with wood brought from the Urals. I hope this video gets 100,000 views. Nearby there is a typical tourist town, Altea. And as you can see, there are beaches, restaurants, and other similar tourist attractions. Altea, known as the White Pearl of Alicante, is a town located between Benidorm and Calpe, where you may feel like you're on a Greek island. One of the best things to do here is to wander through the labyrinth of its beautiful white streets. Well, here we can see the typical houses of this coast. As you can see, they're white because white reflects the sunlight, so it's not so hot inside in summer. The view from these people's windows must be fantastic! Look how beautiful the sea is! It's blue and turquoise. And here on the wall, I do not know why there is a sad Maria. Come on, I'll show her to you. When night comes, I will stay with you, and you will stay with me. Yeah, look at this horrifying face. This is the parish church of Nuestra Señora del Consuelo, popularly known as the Dome of the Mediterranean for its beauty and grandeur. Instead of a number, the houses here have the name of the person who lives there on them. And if you're here with your girlfriend, don't forget to kiss her at this corner. Well, now we're heading to the beach, which is hidden from the main road behind this mountain. Our guide asked me not to reveal its name because only the locals know about it. And he wouldn't want the crowds of tourists to start coming here. So, I'm sorry. If you want, I'll give you one clue and just tell you that this beach is very close to Altea. And this big rock is called the Peñón de Ifa. We saw that there are 6 different routes and you can climb to the very top. And the interesting fact is that the Romans lived here, which was discovered when they found the remains of a fish dish that they used to eat. This dish was called garum, and when its remains were found here, they immediately knew that there were people living here. Well, who were they? The Romans, of course! In the evening, we went to Xábia to enjoy its gastronomy, and there is no better way to do it than to have a dinner at a typical local restaurant, where the waiter even told us a little bit about their regional cuisine. Salads, fish, meat, well, Mediterranean cuisine in general. In addition, we have a great selection of wines from different regions of Spain. Well, that's probably the main thing. Thank you very much, and we're looking forward to the ravioli, which I'm sure will be delicious. It's so delicious. On our way to La Tomatina, we also passed through Alcoi. It's not a very touristy town, but it has quite an interesting history, and now we are going to learn about it. Angel, our guide, is going to tell us about Alcoi. Well, one of the reasons I love Alcoi, apart from the locals, is the Moors and Christians festival. Alcoi was under the rule of Muslims until about the 13th century, and then King James the Conqueror came and liberated the city. Even today, all these years later, the people of Alcoi still celebrate the city's liberation. Some of the local population dress up as Moors, and others as Christians. As you can see, the memories of the Battle of 1276 to recapture Alcoi from the Moors are still very much alive here. We even found a hotel called La Reconquista. Alcoi is also where Cervantes' bomb shelter is located. Since Alcoi was a city of anarchist traditions, this led to it being bombed by Franco during the Civil War. And finally, on the way to Valencia, we stopped at the castle of Xátiva. This castle was once one of the largest fortresses on the Iberian Peninsula. In addition, it was recently declared one of the 7 wonders of the province of Valencia by a popular vote, and it is also in the process of being declared a World Heritage Site. We are in the castle of Xátiva, and this place has switched hands among different civilizations throughout its history. First, it was occupied by the Iberians, and then the Muslims, who were the ones who developed this advanced defensive infrastructure. But above all, this castle is known for being burnt and destroyed on many occasions. In 1519, Xátiva was involved in a Germanic rebellion, which led to the castle being surrendered to imperial troops in December 1522. Then, in 1707, Philip V of the Bourbon dynasty decided to burn the city, not just once, but several times. He then deported all the town's inhabitants who had fought to the bitter end inside the castle. He also renamed it from Xátiva to Saint Felipe. Although you might not believe it, an interesting fact is that in Xátiva, even today, you still won't find a single person named Felipe. This episode still lingers in the collective memory. If you needed any proof, in the city's museum, a painting of King Felipe V is displayed upside down. And that is not the only episode that is remembered. Throughout its history, this castle has suffered many destructions. In 1748, it was damaged by an earthquake, and during the War of Independence, the French also damaged the castle. The amazing thing is that, despite all this, the castle survived to this day in a very good condition. It was here at this gate that the last resistance died. We can find all the information about these events on this plaque. Let's go inside and take a look. Imagine how hundreds of people fought here to the last man. And here, there is a cave. It has two names, Cave of the Drops and Cave of the Lions. It was probably called the Cave of the Drops because rainwater was stored here. Do you see this hole? This is where the water was stored. It's also called the Cave of the Lions because, according to legend, lions were kept here in captivity. Imagine you're standing there and all of a sudden, a lion jumps out at you. Since this city has been burned and looted and turned to ashes many times, it's no surprise that its inhabitants are still known as the Socorets, meaning burned. Well, who doesn't like the burnt pot of paella at the bottom of the saucepan? The final stop on this leg of our journey is Valencia, the city which, as you know, is famous for its Las Fallas festival, paella, and the aquarium, which is the largest in Europe. Toward the end of this trip, we stop for a well-deserved rest at this fantastic hotel close to the beach. Thank you so much for joining us again on our journey. And as always, if you want to see more videos like this, then please support the channel by liking and subscribing. See you soon, world travelers!